You think I should have gotten something else?
It's a little late now.
Well, I love it. I'm just saying.
No, I like it.
Okay, good. Lauren was so funny. I sent her a picture and I was like, you know, look. And she was like, why did you do that? And I was like, because I wanted to. And she was like, she said, you know those are permanent, right? And I went, wait, what?
I feel bad for anybody that gets a tattoo and legitimately thinks it's temporary.
There's no way there's people that dumb.
Somebody had to get the, you know, it's permanent from somewhere. Why is that
It's probably on the paperwork I signed, but I didn't read it. And I was like, yeah, sure, stick me with needles. Welcome to the good ship. Your captain,
Akira.
Grace, at your service.
I can't do it.
Here, watch.
I couldn't be an actress. Wouldn't happen.
Today we're going to talk about books. Can you read? Yes. I've been reading since I was about 4 months. So, I'm pretty good at it.
I've been reading since reading was cool.
No, since before reading was cool. If you've been reading since reading was cool,
okay, fine.
You wouldn't be a hipster. You'd be everyone else.
Well, if you can't read, get audiobooks.
That's all I listen to. Actually, my books that we're going to discuss are audio. I mean, they are actually books, but I don't read.
Yeah, mine are audiobooks too. I don't know the printed versions yet because I want the pretty hardback version and they're expensive, so we have audiobooks right now. We has baby. We're kind of a package deal now.
Today, we're going to focus on a different kind of obsession, the literary kind, because we haven't done that yet. And usually we just talk about stuff that we stare at.
And I don't know how we haven't talked about this yet, like seriously, because I'm an avid reader. You like books.
I like audiobooks.
I'll read whatever the hell you put in front of me. She has to listen to it.
It bores me to stare at the pages. I want to do something else while I'm listening.
You do get way more drawn into it when you listen to an audiobook. Like,
that's how I listened
fantastic.
to stories when I was little. My mom would do read-alouds with us, and then at night we would listen to audiobooks. I hated reading, but I'm a great reader because of audiobooks, because they tell you how to pronounce the words.
I do like that, and my listening comprehension has gone through the roof with audiobooks. Like, normally, when my husband is trying to read something to me, I have to, like, be like, no, just stop. I need to read it myself, or I don't understand what you're saying. And then a couple weeks ago, after I've been listening to nothing but audiobooks nonstop for, like, 3 months, he reads this whole long thing to me. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. And the next day, he's like, so I realized once we were in bed and you were asleep, you didn't ask to, like, read it yourself. Did you understand everything I just read? He was like, yeah, I did.
I think it's like anything. You just have to, like, practice it.
So
your brain will learn to work in whatever way you make it work. Like, if it's your only option or whatever, or the only option you give it, it learns to deal with it.
You know, like artificial intelligence. Non-artificial intelligence, because it's not fake, it's real.
They call that intelligence.
Shut up. I'm trying to be witty here.
I'm sorry. So what is this magical book series you have been addicted to?
Oh my gosh, so it's called there's 2 of them, but my favorite one is A Court of Thorns and Roses from Sarah J.Maas, and then the next one is A Court of Mist and Fury. That one is the best one, in my opinion. That one is fantastic. All I have to say is if you're reading Sarah J.Maas, whoever the main character falls in love with first, don't get attached. Because it's so much better if you just wait it out. Just wait it out. And give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Please. It's fantastic. And I would love to spaz about my favorite fictional, like, boyfriend. But I'm not going to because it would ruin it if you haven't read the series. But he's so hot. He's, like, perfect. Not even kidding. What have you been reading?
That's it. This will be a 5-minute video.
We can go back and forth.
Okay. So I'm actually re-listening to the All Souls trilogy by Deborah Harkness. I almost didn't know that. I was like, oh shoot, what's the author? And then it just rolled right off the tongue. It worked really well. The first one is called Discovery of Witches. I forgot what the title is, the second and the third eye, but it's something in the Book of Life and something. Anyway, and it is like if you took like Twilight, but you made it really well written and an adult book. Not by that I don't mean like porn, but I mean like
50 Shades of Grey.
Not even soft porn. There's no porn. It's still good though. But
you
made it like
can be good without sex.
Well, they have sex. They just don't tell about it. Like every detail. If you took Twilight and you made it a book for actual grown adults and not teenagers, and the main character is a researcher. She is a professor of... She's a historian who studies alchemy. So I don't know what that makes her a professor of. Professor of history, probably. But she studies basically the science in history, and she studies alchemy a lot. And she is in England researching this specific line of manuscripts for a conference coming up. And there's this vampire who is just kind of like watching her. And
that's not creepy at all.
I know. But the thing is, in this universe, there's creatures. And there's 3 kinds, and then there's humans. There's witches, which is what the main character is. Then there's vampires and demons. And they all know about each other. They coexist peacefully, but they don't really have anything to do with one another. And it's because of what she's studying and what she's been working on in her scholarly life, but she doesn't know that yet. She thinks she's just going about her business and this random vampire is just there. But his name is Matthew, and he's absolutely wonderful, and I love him. I love him more than Edward. Yes, I said that.
It's not hard to do.
When I was 14, though.
Okay, fair enough.
Edward was like the standard.
When we were 14 or 15, he was the standard. I will give you that.
But yeah.
But we're not anymore.
As an adult, you would think this was just like the best possible... I was going to say human.
Except for he's not.
The best possible being. But anyway, so it is a love story between them, but it's so slow because it's over 3 books, and like they're not together until honestly book 2. Like they're just kind of getting to know each other and focusing more on the mystery of this manuscript that she kind of breaks the spell on and is able to open and get into. She's the first one in like hundreds of years, and it holds all this power. And she's a witch, but she's always kind of shrugged off her witchcraft because her parents were killed because of their power. And so she's scared to use her power, and she just wants to lead a very completely normal human life, even though it's kind of going to prove to be impossible. It's really, really good, and there's 3 books, and they're all pretty long, so I just listen to them on audiobooks. And yeah, it's really good. It's like grown-up Twilight, but so much better. It's so well written, too. Okay, next.
The other series is also J.Maas. And it's Throne of Glass, and it was the first one she wrote.
Pardon the earthquake. The child is grabby.
They're both about fairies, or fae. So I will preface with that. If you don't like high fantasy, then don't read it. But why anybody would not like high fantasy, I'm not sure. It's pretty awesome. Throne of Glass is about an assassin. Sort of. It's like her plot lines are so in depth that I almost can't give anything like without giving away the plot of the whole series. But it's 7 books, and she just finished the last book in October. Yeah, and they're all fucking amazing. Not even lying. They're all fantastic. And that is also a slow burn romance because
slow burn is better because you're so much happier when it happens.
So it's like enemies to comrades to friends to holy shit, when did I fall in love with you? It's pretty cool. But yeah, so they're not actually official until like book 4.
Earthquake's still going strong.
Technically she doesn't meet him till book 2 though. So there's a little bit there. That goes back to the whoever she dates first don't get attached to. But yeah, no, so that one's really, really good. There's also one that I just finished reading, and it is Lee Bardugo, I believe is the author, but it's Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. That one's fantastic, and it's only 2 books, and I so wish there's more because I seriously need some Kaz and Edge action. I don't even know how to describe the town, but I mean, it's not like, I guess it's like, it's not medieval because they have like guns and stuff, but like the way the city's built is like that. But the city is built around merchants, and there is magic users that are called Grisha, and there's this, it's like Ocean's 11, only cooler, because it's like these 6 thieves that come together and they're breaking.
Seen Ocean's 11.
Okay, well, a lot of people at least get the reference.
Heist.
Yes, basically.
Okay.
So we're breaking into literally the most impenetrable court in their world to take a hostage back, and basically it's a suicide mission, and yet somehow everybody comes out of it alive. Don't know how that works, but it's awesome. It's angsty and not fluffy, but there's like romance aspects to it, and it's really cool because it's not traditional romance. It's just angsty fantasticness. Don't judge me. Okay. You like angst too. You just
not
like
nearly
angst
as much as you.
when they're
I
together.
Like straightforwardness.
They have mental issues. They've been abused in the past. One of them has PTSD from something ridiculous that's absurd. I don't know how he survived it, but he did. And the other one was
like
sold into slavery in the sex trade. And Kaz bought her indenture to get her out of there.
Hashtag relatable. The next series I'm going to talk about is not one that I am just now reading. I read it for the first time when I was probably 16, 17, 16-ish. I don't know, but it's called Sweep. It is by Cate Tiernan. I think that's how you say her name. And it's technically 15 books, but they're all really little. So she has it packed into 5 volumes. And it's 3 books per volume. So it's kind of like part 1, part 2, part 3 in a book this thick. And there's 5 of them. But it goes so fast. And it's this girl. She's like, I think she's 17 or 18. She is just like normal, average teenager who, and this is not a teenagey angsty book. It's just she happens to be a teenager. So if you're not a teenager, you'll still like the book. Because my mother got addicted to it and just reread it for like the 3rd time a couple weeks ago. You'll all like it. There's this girl, and she lives with like her Catholic family and her sister and her parents, and she goes to school and she has her friends and everything. And then this kid starts coming to her school, and his name is Cal, and he is beautiful. And she finds out that he practices Wicca, and for some reason she feels very connected to him and to that. And she later finds out that she is a blood witch and she was adopted. And basically it's her figuring out her life and what happened because her parents hadn't told her she was adopted. And just her struggling to understand all that and live in a Catholic family because they obviously find out about it because it's not something that she can really hide. Another thing I like about this book series is that it goes up until she's much older too, so it's not just like a teenage series, but it's also it was written I believe in the late 80s, early 90s, and so kids don't have cell phones and there aren't like all just these stupid things thrown in there to make it like relatable to kids, which that's I like. Nice. Like it's written like a book that just happens to be, stuck in the young adult section. It is so well written, and every time I read it, I forget things because it's so detailed. And it's also, I have been told by people who actually do practice Wicca, fun story with that we won't get into now, but I've been told by them that it's a very accurate depiction of their beliefs as well. So that's kind of cool. But I used to be obsessed with all things witchcraft because I just thought it was completely fascinating. And that was why I got into that series. But no, I showed it to my mom a few weeks ago. Okay, by now it's probably a year or so ago for the first time that she read it. And she read it all in like record time, and she has reread it like twice since then. It's so good. But it's called Sweep by Cate Tiernan.
On the subject of rereading that first one I mentioned, I've reread the trilogy 5 times in the last 6 months.
It's just nice to listen to books that you've already heard. Yeah. I don't know.
You hear something new every time. And I'm actually like physically reading the Kindle book now so that I can like make notes and bookmark things I like, because you always see something that you didn't hear too. And then somebody got me this for Christmas. Guys, it's so cool.
It's beautiful. Actually,
it's got pretty unfinished pages, and it's got all the song lyrics and special cast pictures, and it's got information.
Yeah, it's got lots of like anecdotes and notes from Lin-Manuel Miranda, and because he put it together.
All the red in the pages is Lin's notes, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
You've got all the stage things. Like,
it's got a lot of personality to it. It's not just very dry.
In Quiet Uptown, we have like stage notes, and it's like, you sing this, and then Hamilton shatters, and we're just like, ah.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful book. I got it for her. I wasn't going to be visiting until January, so I didn't give it to her in time. So I got it for her before Christmas, and I was like gathering her gifts together because I got her a couple different things, and I was looking through it. And I was so impressed by it. I was like, Mom, someone needs to get me this for Christmas. And I had already asked for it. It was like on my Christmas list. But I kind of forgot about it. And then I got hers in the mail, and I was like obsessed with it.
It's gorgeous.
And then Christmas rolls around, and I did get it for Christmas. So we both have it now. But it's so freaking beautiful. Like, he did a great job on that book.
It's fantastic.
And it's only $25. Like, I shouldn't be saying your Christmas present amount.
But
I
was getting worried because the back of the book says it's $45.
No, if you go on Amazon, that's a really good price.
And then
that's a very fair price.
He has another book too, if you follow him on Twitter, and it's Gmorning, Good Night. And I bought that too, and it's adorable. It's like a little poem book of inspirational fabulousness.
Yeah. I already read the whole thing. I probably won't like read it all the time, but like it's a cute thing to have. It really is. It's sweet. And it's really cheap. Like I don't really buy inspirational books that often because I'm like, well, they're just going to sit there. Like I'll look at them and that's it. But like it's like $10 or $11.
If I'm not mistaken, he either did or is doing the audiobook for it, and he's actually going to narrate it. So
I would expect nothing less, honestly.
Exactly.
You can't just get someone else to do that. It's like an autobiography. The person has to read it. Yeah. Like, otherwise it's stupid. Stupid.
Gotta go. Gotta save the cat from the baby.